The political storm that's outlasted Hurricane Dorian is taking a new turn tonight, with a report Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross threatened to fire top staffers at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, according to the New York Times, citing 3 people familiar with the discussion. Late tonight, the Commerce Department tells NBC News that's false and that the secretary did not threaten to fire anyone over forecasting and public statements about Dorian. The back and forth comes after one of NOAA's offices contradicted an initial comment and tweet from President Trump about Alabama's risk from Dorian.
Alabama's going to get a piece of it, it looks like.
For Alabama, just please be careful also.
The president later displayed a map with what looked like a Sharpie line drawn through Alabama, added to the hurricane's cone of uncertainty.
I know that Alabama was in the original forecast.
But the danger from Dorian had passed the state days before the president first brought it up, sparking this pointed tweet from the Birmingham branch of the National Weather Service. Alabama will not see any impacts. Now, an uproar after the national office scolded Birmingham for speaking in absolute terms that were inconsistent with forecasts, backing the president over some of its own scientists. One former NOAA staffer calling that statement moral cowardice. And those Birmingham forecasters today receiving a show of support, a standing ovation at a national weather conference. Now, NOAA's chief scientist is calling the agency's response political and a danger to public health and safety, and investigating whether it violated ethics standards, according to an email obtained by the Washington Post. President Trump was supposed to see some of the damage from Dorian in North Carolina today, but bad weather forced him to cancel that tour and hold a briefing on Air Force One instead.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.